So you're thinking about straightening your teeth. It's a big decision. And if you're anything like me, you've got a stack of pamphlets that's probably just making the whole thing feel more confusing. Clear braces, aligners, so many options. Well, lucky for you, we're diving into that very topic today. We've got some great research here comparing different teeth straightening methods. No more information overload, I promise. By the end of this deep dive, you'll be walking into any orthodontist office like you own the place, ready to ask all the right questions. And to help us unpack all of this, I've got our expert here. Now, before we even get into the nitty-gritty, let's break down the very basics. What exactly is the difference between clear braces and these clear aligners everyone's raving about?
It all comes down to this. Clear braces, you're locked in, they're fixed to your teeth. Aligners, on the other hand, are removable, which definitely impacts your day-to-day life in ways you might not expect.
Okay, so one is a bit more permanent sounding than the other, but isn't the whole point to not have a metal mouth look? So spill the tea. How invisible are these clear braces really?
Good news on that front. While they're not totally invisible, clear braces are way more discreet than those old-school metal braces. We're talking tooth-colored ceramic or plastic brackets, and even the wires can be made to blend in.
Subtle, like a ninja for your teeth. I like it.
Exactly. Many people find that shift in their appearance alone boosts their confidence, especially in social or professional settings.
Confidence is key. But let's be real. We can't ignore the elephant in the room. Cost. Everyone wants that Hollywood smile, but nobody wants to empty their bank account to get it. Expert speaker, what's the damage? Give us the cost breakdown. Clear braces, aligners, traditional braces. Lay it on us.
You're right. Cost is a huge GE factor. Keep in mind, these are just ballpark figures. Prices vary depending on where you live, your specific case, even your insurance coverage. But generally, traditional metal braces are the most budget-friendly, running somewhere between $3,000 to $7,000 for the full treatment.
Okay, so that's our baseline. What if you want to ditch the metal mouth look? Bump up to the clear braces. What are we looking at there?
Expect to pay a bit more for that aesthetic advantage. Clear braces generally fall in the $4,000 to $8,000 range for the complete treatment.
And finally, the clear aligners. Those seem to be all the rage these days.
They are. And that popularity is reflected in the price tag. Clear aligners, including brands like Invisalign, can set you back anywhere from $3,500 to $9,000, depending on the specifics of your treatment plan.
So there's definitely a price jump as you move towards the invisible options.
Yeah.
But those prices aren't set in stone, right?
Exactly. It's super important to remember these are just averages.
Okay, so we've covered the basics.
Mm-hmm.
Clear braces are fixed, aligners are removable, and both are easier on the eyes and the wallet than traditional braces. Now let's dive into the nitty-gritty of actually living with these things. Because let's face it, when it comes to food, our mouths are basically amusement parks, right? Expert speaker, break it down for us. What are the do's and don'ts of eating with braces versus aligners?
All right, picture this. You've got a plate of gooey, chewy caramel in front of you. With traditional braces, and even to some extent with clear braces, that's a big no-no, anything that's super sticky, chewy, or crunchy is basically off limits because it can damage the brackets and wires.
Okay, so maybe hold off on the caramel apples at the fair. But with aligners, I'm guessing it's a different story.
You're right. It is a bit different because you can pop those aligners out for meals. You've got a lot more freedom with your food choices. However, and this is key, that freedom comes with a big ol' asterisk. Aligners only work if you wear them as directed, which means a solid 20 to 22 hours a day. Think of it like a gym routine. You're not going to see results if you only work out once a week, right?
So aligners, the commitment phobe's nightmare. That's a hilarious way to put it. It's like having a personal trainer for your teeth, always there to keep you on track.
You got it. It's all about consistency. Speaking of consistency, let's talk about everyone's favorite chore. Cleaning. Cleaning. The not-so-glamorous side of a dazzling smile. But seriously, with any orthodontic treatment, keeping things sparkling clean is super important. And let's be real, with braces, it's a bit of an obstacle course for your toothbrush.
I can only imagine. All those brackets and wires, talk about getting up close and personal with your teeth.
You're telling me you've really got to be meticulous about brushing and flossing around all those nooks and crannies to prevent plaque buildup and staining.
Sounds like a recipe for a dentist's dream patient.
You know, you'd be surprised. A lot of people actually become much more aware of their oral hygiene during orthodontic treatment, which can actually lead to better habits in the long run.
Okay, so maybe a silver lining there. And what about aligners? I'm guessing they're a bit easier to keep clean since you can take them out.
Definitely. With aligners, you can just pop them out and brush them separately. But, and this is important, you've got to be diligent about keeping those trays clean and dry to prevent bacteria from building up. No one wants a side of stink breath with their straighter smile.
Right. Hygiene is key. So we've talked about cost differences, but what about those hidden costs? Like, are retainers a whole other expense we need to factor in?
That's a really good point. Retainers are often the forgotten heroes of orthodontic treatment. They're essential for maintaining your newly aligned smile after the braces or aligners come off.
Because teeth have a mind of their own, am I right?
Exactly. They want to shift back to their old positions, especially in the first few months after active treatment. So, regardless of which straightening method you choose, you'll need to wear retainers. The type and duration will depend on your individual case and your orthodontist's recommendations, but it's definitely something to factor into the overall cost and commitment.
Okay, so retainers, non-negotiable, got it. But let's back up for a sec. We've been throwing around these price ranges for braces and aligners, but are there ways to make it more manageable? What about payment plans or insurance coverage?
Absolutely. Don't let those initial price tags scare you off. Most orthodontists offer flexible payment plans to help spread out the cost over time. And it's definitely worth checking with your insurance provider to see what kind of coverage they offer for orthodontic treatment.
So it's not necessarily one big lump sum. That's good to know. And speaking of making informed decisions, we mentioned earlier that aligners require a lot of commitment. Are there any other factors, maybe even psychological ones, that people should consider when choosing between braces and aligners?
That's a really interesting point you bring up. There are definitely psychological factors to consider. For some people, the visibility of braces, even clear ones, can impact their self-esteem, especially adults who might be self-conscious about wearing braces later in life.
Right, it can feel like you're back in high school all over again.
Exactly. And for those folks, the invisibility of aligners can be a huge advantage, allowing them to straighten their teeth more discreetly and maintain their confidence throughout the process.
So it's not just about the physical transformation, it's about the emotional journey too.
Absolutely. And on the flip side, some people find that having braces with their fixed nature provides a sense of structure and accountability. They don't have to worry about remembering to wear them or taking them out for meals. They're just there doing their thing.
So it's like having a built-in reminder to stay on track with your treatment. I like that.
Exactly. And because you can't really take them out, it eliminates the temptation to skip wearing them or not wear them for the recommended amount of time.
Which, let's be honest, is a real struggle for some of us. It's like having a little bit of built-in discipline for your teeth. I can see how that would be appealing.
Exactly. And then there's the social aspect. Some people find that having braces, especially for teenagers, can be a bit of a bonding experience. It's like a shared experience that they can connect over.
That's true. It can be a bit of a conversation starter, especially these days with all the cool colors and designs you can get. But those conversations might be a little tougher to start if you're an adult who's a bit self-conscious about having braces.
Right. For adults, the discreet nature of aligners can be a major advantage. Allowing them to go about their daily lives without feeling like their orthodontic treatment is the first thing people notice.
So many things to consider.
Yeah.
It's really about finding the best fit for your personality and lifestyle. Speaking of best fit, our research mentions that the severity of your misalignment plays a huge role in which option is right for you. Expert speaker, can you elaborate on that?
Absolutely. That's where that initial consultation with an orthodontist is worth its weight in gold. They'll assess your unique bite, the complexity of your case, and even factor in things like your overall oral health to recommend the most effective treatment plan.
So it's not as simple as just picking your favorite color braces from a chart.
Not quite. While clear braces and aligners have definitely revolutionized the world of orthodontics, they're not a one-size-fits-all solution. Some cases, particularly those with severe crowding, bite issues, or rotations, might be better suited for traditional braces. They can exert different forces and offer more precise control, which can be crucial for achieving the best long-term results.
So it's all about choosing the right tool for the job, so to speak.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to go into that consultation with an open mind, ask all your questions, and trust the orthodontist's expertise to guide you towards the best option for your unique smile.
I couldn't agree more. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your health. Now, we've covered a lot of ground here, but I have one final thought-provoking question for our listeners to ponder. We've talked about aesthetics, cost, lifestyle. But what about the long game? The long-term health implications of these straightening methods. Is there a difference between braces and aligners when it comes to the overall health of your teeth and gums down the road?
That's an excellent question, and it's definitely something to discuss with your orthodontist. The most important factor, regardless of the method, is maintaining excellent oral hygiene throughout and after treatment.
Because straight teeth don't mean much if they're not healthy teeth.
Right. Exactly. And that's why those regular checkups and cleanings, even after you're done with active treatment, are non-negotiable. They help ensure that your smile stays healthy and sparkling for years to come.
So there you have it. We've unpacked the world of clear braces and aligners, from the cost and appearance to the lifestyle implications and the importance of finding the right fit for YU. Remember, knowledge is power. Arm yourself with information, ask those burning questions, and, most importantly, advocate for your smile. Because at the end of the day, it's about more than just straight teeth. It's about confidence, well-being, and rocking that smile for years to come.